Welcome back, my ABT students. Okay, so we had the date on the letter, and I told you to put it in to be automatic because you might send this letter out once a month, once a week, once every 6 months, but it gets sent out on more than once. So you want the date to update every time you send the letter out. Okay, now for a letter, remember what you use for your top margin. Remember, it's layout, margins, custom margins, and your top margin when there's no letterhead is 2.5 and your bottom margin is 0.5. All right, say okay. And now we have to put in the letter address. Okay, so that means then we have to have default slots so that the addresses can be slotted in. So what we want to do is we want to go to next. Step number 3, write your letter. Okay, now they have an address block here and a greeting line, but they're sometimes too rigid that they don't work that well. So I want to teach you how to do your own, and then you can always control what goes in yours. So we're going to go to your mailings tab, and now take a look. Insert merge field. We want title, which stands for Mr. And those two little arrows there and those two little arrows are called chevrons. 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 Just to tell you that it's a code. Spacebar. And now you want to say first name. Okay, so it would be like Mrs. Lee, and then the last name you would say Mansell. Okay, so that's the first line of your letter address. Who is it going to? Now press enter, and we put in company name. If there's one, it fills in. If there isn't, the computer knows to leave it blank and not leave a blank line. Then the next one is address line 1. Press enter, and then of course address line 2. And the same thing applies. You put them both in. Doesn't matter if one is blank. And then we go to city. And now you can put a comma in or not depending on what the company uses that you work for. So we'll go comma space, but the comma does not have to be there. And province and space bar, and then you want postal code. And you don't have to use every field. Just because the field is there, you don't have to use it. All right, so in this case we do need to use it. Now that's our letter address. All right, press enter twice, and now you want to say dear, and you know in your salutation you would say dear Mrs. Mansell. So you want insert title, because that's Mrs., and then you want to put in my last name. All right, and press enter. And now we want to write the body of the letter, but before we do that, go Control S to save. And now I have already prepared the body. You can key it in, but I'm going to insert mine. So watch, I'm going to go to insert, I'm going to go to object, text from file, and I'm going to go to my classes drive. I'm going to go to ABT, and I've got mail merge up here, and I've got my data for my sports letter. So I'm going to insert it. All right, and there's my data. Now it came in on normal spacing. I can see that, so I'm going to right away go straight here to home and put it on no spacing. Okay, so I have the salutation. Here's the first paragraph. Now the bullets look like they're off or not set at all. In fact, they're not on. So I'm going to take this out so that we can do our bullets properly. All right, I'm going to select the 3 of them. Now remember, I want to go to my numbering bullet. 1, 2, 3, and note that I pulled them out to the left side, out to the gray and the white. Now 2 ticks is okay, but if you have double-digit numbers, for sure you want 3 ticks. So I'm going to tell you 3 ticks. All right, and then you've got paragraph 2, you got paragraph 3 here, and sincerely, how many do we go down after that? 5 plus 1 is 6. Okay, this is 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you've got the person's name, Gordon Brown Manager, and now down 2, and your initials. So my initials would be LM, 2 little letters, remember, no periods, no capital letters. And here I want to put this onto no spacing. All right, that looks good, so go Control S to save. All right, so that's your letter complete. All right, so now this is our sports letter, and note that it says page 1 of 1. We only have one form letter. So now we go to next, preview. Now up here you can say, you see Mr. Anthony Manhattan, 2941 Campus Drive, Winnipeg, and you say, Dear Mr. Manhattan. So very nicely all your data slotted in. So now if I go to the next recipient, I see Corey Owens, and always check for mistakes here, okay? In case you make a mistake, then we have to fix it. All right, and then go to recipient 3, and we see Mrs. Dorothy McLaughlin, company name, address line 1, address line 2, Winnipeg, and so on. So the same letter went to 3 different people. All right, now we'll go on to the next, complete the merge. And now we don't print it, for sure. You do not print it. You say edit the individual letters. Now, all the records, yes. And now take a look. Do you see Manhattan? And then you saw Corey Owens. And note how there was a page break to separate the letters, done automatically for you. And then the last person was McLaughlin. All right. And now note the default name here, letters 1. This letter is called your merged letter. You save it till a later time when you can use the printer. And then once it's been sent out, then you can delete the merged one, not the form. You never delete the form. All right, we're going to go File, and we're going to go Save As, and we're going to go to your drive. So we're going to go to my D drive here. I'm going to go to L Mansell. I want to go to ABT. I want to go to Mail Merge. And this one now, I'm going to click here. And you see the word form comes in. I'm going to double click here on form and type in merged. Okay, so this way you never make a mistake on the file name. All you do is change the word form to merged. And note you can't see the data file. Why? Because it's not a Word document. It's a database. So you won't see it. It's there, you just won't see it. All right, so it should say Lee, October 21, sports letter merged. Save it. Okay, so that's our merged letter. I don't need to do anything else with it except close it out. So I closed it out, and now I want to go back previous, and I always tell you to come back to step 4, okay? And the reason being is that you can always see your codes, and then you know you're on the form. You can read it up here, but I notice that many of you don't pay attention up here. So go back to step 4 so that you can see your codes. All right, go Control S to save. Now, once we've put the codes in once, we don't have to do it again. So all I have to do is change the name and put a new body in. So I'm going to select this body, okay, because we don't need it anymore, and I'm going to delete it. All right, so I deleted the body, and now I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to go to our Mail Merge folder, and this time instead of calling it sports letter form, I'm going to take out the word sports and we're going to call it Harrison. Okay, Harrison letter form. All right, save it. And also I have done the same thing. I've got it ready to go in, so I'm going to go to Insert. I'm going to say Object, Text from File. And I want to go to my classes drive. I want to go to ABT. I want to go to Mail Merge and the data for the Harrison letter insert. Okay, and again it came in normal spacing, so I want to go down and change it to no spacing right away. So I'm going to go home here, go to no spacing. Alright, so now this was the subject line, so I'm going to bold it. And you know 2 before, 2 after. Now it says enclosed with this letter are chapters. Insert appropriate field here. Well, you don't have a field yet, okay? So let's get the rest of this letter set up properly. So go down, 5 plus 1 is 6. And remember your initials R, and mine are LM. 2 little letters, no capital letters, and we've got room here to put enclosures there. And what does enclosures mean? Enclosures mean that you have enclosed a check, or you have enclosed some information, a brochure, but you've enclosed something. Enclosure means one thing, enclosures means more than one, and sometimes people put down 2 in brackets if they enclose 2 things, just so that you know enough to look for 2 things. All right, save your letter here. Okay, I think I should, I got 5 minutes. Okay, have I got time? No, I'm going to stop here. We'll leave this on the screen. I'm going to stop here and end the video, and then I'll start again.